Today is April 10th. Welcome on in to Daily Cards Live here on ClaibsOnline.com. I'm Joe Roderick, joined alongside by Bob Ramsey, and we are brought to you each and every day by our friends over at Munganast St. Louis Acura and also Royal Banks.
From our roots in St. Louis, Royal Banks of Missouri is branching out to continue serving you with our locations in St. Charles, Jerseyville, Granite City, and now in Hannibal, Center, and New London. Royal Banks of Missouri, the community bank in your community.
Rammer Cardinals dropped 2 out of 3 this past weekend in Milwaukee against the Brewers, who are playing really, really good baseball right now. Not a team that I expected to go very far or win many games this year, but they're proving me wrong so far. Timely hitting, I think, would be more of a concern right now than pitching, right?
For the Cardinals?
Yeah, for the Cardinals.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
They've got one good start all year.
Yeah,
two and a half maybe with Flaherty. But I mean, no, I don't think so. And I think while getting a couple of good guys in the bullpen going, I think they're still trying to find their way. Now, I'm not suggesting it's a disaster. I think they'll cobble things together and kind of figure out who fits where and all those kinds of things. I know what you're talking about. 2-out hits with runners in scoring position. If you're hitting the ball, hitting it hard, putting the ball in play, that stuff eventually is going to come around, I think.
You would hope so. You would hope that that's more of a luck than it is a skill. When the numbers all, when 162 games have been played over the season, and it comes to that, just a devastating turn of events in the 8th inning yesterday with bases loaded and nobody out.
That one is more than just bad luck. Goldie's got to put the ball in play. A guy that is your best player. He's the best player in the league last year, but he knows instead he's got to put the ball in play and force them to happen. Now, it's not to discredit the pitching. Milwaukee's pitching is pretty good, and that's not a surprise. They've got a couple of good young outfielders, though, to go with some of the other hitters. They're going to be a little bit of a handful. I don't think they're up in that upper echelon. In fact, I'm confident they're not up there with the Braves and the Padres. Maybe probably the Mets. The Mets have been all banged up, maybe not, but you know what I'm saying. I think they're that next tier with us and a banged up Phillies, Mets, and that sort of grouping.
Well, let's look at tonight's game. The Cardinals in Colorado for 3 before coming home for a 7-game homestand. Our starting lineups brought to you by Bootleggin' Bob's True Neighborhood Tavern, located at 3457 Morgan Ford Road. They open up just a little bit here, Rammer. They open up at 5 o'clock on Mondays, open till 1:30, and they got all your favorites, your Busch Light, your Stag beer, everything with a fun atmosphere down at Bootleggin' Bob's. Right off of Morgan Ford down there in Tower Grove South.
I'm not the Bob in the title, but I'd like to be.
We will, you know what, Rammer, like I said, we are going to take a field trip and we are going to do Daily Cards Live on the road a couple times this year. And I feel like we should go down on a, they open up 3 o'clock the rest of the week. It's 5 o'clock openings on Mondays. So we find one of those 3 o'clock openings and we do the show on a Tuesday or Wednesday from there before we head on down to Busch Stadium for a Cardinal game.
Sounds good.
That's how we'll do it one of these nights. Here's how the Cardinals will open up tonight. They have Brendan Donovan playing first base, and leading off, Alec Burleson is in left field. Paul Goldschmidt, your designated hitter tonight. Nolan Arenado back at third base. Wilson Contreras is behind the plate. Nolan Gorman is at second. Look at that. He's a versatile Nolan Gorman this year. Jordan Walker is in right field. Dylan Carlson is in center. And batting ninth, your shortstop is Tommy Edman. For the Colorado Rockies, it's Netherlands superstar Jurickson Profar. He's in left field. Charlie Blackmon DHing, Chris Bryan in right. CJ Crone at first. Elias Diaz is behind the plate. Eleris Montero is at third. Jonathan Daza is in center. Alan Trejo is at second. And Ezequiel Tovar is your shortstop for the Rockies. Jermaine Marquez pitching for the Rockies tonight. Steven Matz on the mound for the Cardinals.
Yeah, so where do you want to begin?
You know what? It's not somewhere we really need to begin. I just thought that yesterday it's kind of telling how the Cardinals are viewing, do I want to say the maturity of Nolan Gorman? Because yesterday is the first time that I believe he has played third base for the St. Louis Cardinals. Ever since they traded for Nolan Arenado, Nolan Gorman took his glove and moved to second base and has done nothing but play second base since then. And I guess now that they see him as a bigger part of the team and see that he can DH a lot more, they say, you know what? Hey, you go back and you play some third, and you give you can give Nolan Arenado a break every now and then.
He is going to replace one of our corner guys whenever they retire. So moving around is a good thing for him.
Yeah.
If Goldschmidt retires in 3 years, Gorman will be the replacement. He'll play first base.
Oh, yeah, and
vice versa. Arenado's younger. Arenado turns 32 this year, and he'll replace him someday if that's the case. So him moving around a little bit, I wouldn't mind seeing him at first sometimes, but you still got to try and win games. And Donovan's played first, and apparently Gorman has not. So I don't have a problem with that at all. The defensive lineup, I think, is fine. I think I would have preferred to have Carlson too instead of Burleson, just for a little speed. It tells me late in the game, if they bring in a left-hander, that Yepez will pinch hit for Burleson. So I'd just soon have him down in the order. I think Gorman has earned elevation in the lineup. Walker has too. That's pretty nitpicky, though, for a pretty good lineup.
By the way, you mentioned Yepez in there, and we're talking about some versatility. Juan Yepez played a little bit of third base this spring training for the Cardinals. I know he played in the minor leagues as well, and I think he even has appeared in a St. Louis Cardinal game at third base. But yesterday, there were questions as to why they went with Motter to pinch hit over Donovan with the lefty on the mound, and why not Yepez? And I think it shows the confidence the Cardinals do not have in Juan Yepez to play third base in a meaningful game right now, that they did not decide to move guys around to put Yepez at third, Gorman at second, to pinch hit for Donovan in that situation.
Yeah, I suppose that's the case. But if it's a big enough moment that you got to take, I know his numbers aren't there yet, but ostensibly your best leadoff guy, to take him out of the game, and you replace him with a guy who, I mean, if your life depended on, who would you have pinch hit, Motter or Yepez? Come on.
Yepez has come through. Yeah, Yepez has come through in a postseason game in a big at bat. It's always going to be Yepez. Absolutely.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, Ollie went with his gut, and that's okay. I saw some criticisms that he didn't have metrics to back up that move. That's okay. If you're just going to use metrics, you don't need a manager. Just have your metrics guys in the press box. And by the way, some people would like that. But we'll all keep track with the gut moves, the gut check moves. If they work, you keep your job. If they don't work, you lose your job. That's life. When you back it up with metrics, even if it's a bad move, you've got, oh, well, the metric said, which is, I think, a coward's way out. Ollie's not doing that. He said, I felt this was my guy. I'm with him. Go for it. But if you have enough of those that go against you, it'll end up costing you.
Rammer, something we'll probably hear a few times tonight on the broadcast is Nolan Arenado returning back to Coors Field, returning back to where he started the first 7 years of his career with in Major League Baseball. And I want to look at this. I just want to go over this quickly for people that look at this kind of stuff. Last year at Coors Field, 3 games, as they do every year, 14 at-bats for Nolan Arenado. Last year at Coors, he had 5 hits, 2 of those being home runs for a .357 average, so showed up last year at Coors Field in those games, which is funny because back in 2021, the first time he went back to Coors Field, it was not very good for him there. 2 hits in 17 plate appearances with 3 strikeouts in those games. So it is a place where he became a superstar hitting for all of those years. I wonder how much of those 2021 numbers were nerves of him going back there for the first time, and how much of it was a more relaxed Nolan Arenado last year playing in that park.
I'm gonna tap into the great philosopher Jay Bennington, who once said, "Do I look nervous?"
Hey, those numbers maybe show that he was in 2021, right?
I can't remember which year were there fans.
2020, there were no fans. That they did not play there in 2020. That's because they only played AL Central and NL Central teams. So 2021, and again, yeah, I did not dig that deep to figure out who the pitchers were, and I just looked in that ballpark how he did. I can tell you though that in 12 at bats against Jermaine Marquez, Nolan Arenado is a 167 batting average, 1 home run. So
yeah,
what's that?
We don't worry. I don't. You're kind of a worrywart, which I appreciate. I don't worry about it too much because he's a great player, and he's off to a good start, as most of the Cardinals are. I think getting the left-handed bats in today is good. Little more. My only concern, and it's pretty mild, because he's played pretty well. I don't want to body shame, but Burleson will have a lot of ground to cover in left field. So I am interested in that. And so we'll see what happens. But he's a big leaguer now. I have all the confidence in the world in him.
Paul Goldschmidt is a 425 hitter in 40 at-bats against Marquez with 4 home runs. So
most of the guys have some decent numbers against him.
Yeah, they really do. Let's talk quickly before we get out of here. Jordan Walker. I mean, we could sit here at the start of a guy's career and we could say, oh, he's on, he looks like he's on pace to this guy, or nobody's did it since this guy, and have all these crazy numbers. I mean, when you look at what Jordan Walker has done, a 20-year-old who has gotten a hit in the first 9 games of his career, and you say, oh, who else has done that? Oh, only one other guy, Ted Williams. That's pretty freaking special.
Pretty impressive. It's very impressive. And again, I'd like to see him slide up. I hate, because the Cardinals are having trouble driving in runs right now. He has not had that kind of trouble. Let's get he and Gorman, slide him up. Oh, Contreras will have his feelings hurt. You can't. We do too much of that in lineups in St. Louis. Play the hot hand. When they cool off, move them back. He showed last year. Ollie's going to have 152 starting lineups. Who cares? Move them around.
We will see how that goes. We'll see how Jordan Walker does tonight. And man, if he can get into one, it sure would be fun to see how far that ball could fly at Coors Field. Coming 112 miles an hour off the bat.
If you're in the left field bleachers at Coors, pay attention when this kid's hitting, because you may not want to be taking a bite of a hot dog when it comes sailing by your head.
There is a concourse behind the bleachers in left field. And during the home run derby in 2021, I moved around a lot around there. So I started off, the auxiliary press box was in right field, in fair territory in right field. You kept
getting kicked out of your seats. Okay.
No. So here, this is Ben Boyd and I, this is how we went about it. We kind of were in our own seats at first in right field, above the bullpen in right field where the auxiliary press box was, in fair territory. And after Matt Olson hit a ball that almost went through the chair next to me, I thought, I'm going to go walk around a little bit and I'm going to see, where else I could go. So then I went to the dead center field up top. I can't remember what it's called, right up there.
Pile.
Yes, the rock pile. I went up there for Shohei, thinking maybe Shohei could hit one up here and I want to be up here to catch it.
Of course.
And then after that, I then went to the left field behind the concourse all the way. My back was against the wall at the concourse, and Pete Alonso was putting balls out there to where you couldn't see them. We couldn't see the batter hitting. You just had to look up, and you had to wait to see the ball appear out of nowhere and hope you were somewhere near it.
Yeah, that's McGuire-esque. He used to do that at Coors in BP and in games.
So if you are out there, I know that's a popular place to go for Cardinal road trips. If you are out there for that, it's something to try to take in. If you can watch Cardinal batting practice and watch Jordan Walker hit today, bring a glove and watch out.
Yeah, you bet.
Hey, that's going to do it for us today. We will be giving tickets away, by the way, all week long here on Claibs Online for the next homestand, which starts on Thursday. And hey, coming up this Saturday, it's April 15th. It's Jackie Robinson Day at Busch Stadium. The Cardinals will host the Pirates and honor Jackie Robinson's impact on Major League Baseball. And that day, 25,000 fans ages 16 and older will receive a Jackie Robinson Day cap. Get your tickets now at cardinals.com/promotions. We'll also be doing a giveaway, I believe, for those tickets maybe one day this week. I need to put out tomorrow morning. I am going to be doing a giveaway for the game on Thursday against the Pirates. I have tickets for the game on Thursday. Be doing a giveaway for that tomorrow morning on my Twitter at Joe Roderick. So follow along there for a chance to win those. Until then, he is Bob Ramsey. I'm Joe Roderick. We're brought to you each and every day by Mungenast St. Louis Acura and Royal Banks of Missouri right here on Daily Cards Live.
At St. Louis Acura, we have over 130 new Acura models in stock or on the way in March. Like the 2023 Acura MDX, get $1,500 in loyalty cash when you buy, or you can lease the MDX starting at $599 a month. Earn $1,000 loyalty cash on the 2023 Integra, RDX, or TLX. Or you can save over $3,500 on our large selection of Acura courtesy vehicles. St. Louis Acura, better than ever for you.